and it has to do with the use of TANF funds, which are supposed to provide cash assistance to women and kids in poverty. It rings a little hollow that this majority is bringing up this bill in the wake of the big ugly bill that was passed this summer that dramatically cut support for pregnant and parenting women and children in poverty, with the huge cuts to Medicaid. When we have 40% of pregnancies in this country, the medical care is funded by Medicaid, and with the draconian cuts to SNAP and then the administration's illegal withholding of SNAP during the budget shutdown. So to say this is all about concern for families in need, it is disingenuous to not be profane. But it's not an isolated concern. We're not talking about one bad actor here or there. There has been a systemic abuse among these crisis pregnancy centers that we have seen. And I see the gentleman shaking his head. I would just ask unanimous consent to put into the record a study entitled Designed to Deceive, a study of the crisis pregnancy center industry in 9 states.
Without objection.
Thank you. I mean, one of the 9 states that was investigated, including the 607 of these pregnancy crisis centers that were investigated, was Pennsylvania, where I am. And as a result of this study and audits that were done in Pennsylvania of these centers, a determination was made that TANF dollars should not be steered to these places because basically public dollars were being siphoned off to promote an anti-abortion agenda, and it was not promoting food, diapers, support for pregnant and parenting women and families as intended, and I think, as we would all agree, should happen. But in fact, there were millions of Pennsylvania dollars, or dollars coming from federal through Pennsylvania, that were being sent to this corporate network and not even being used for families in Pennsylvania. So I think there are serious concerns about fraud, waste, and abuse among this network where public dollars are not being spent for the intended purpose. Is there anything that you want to comment with respect to this?
So I want to be utterly clear that this bill would take these TANF dollars and provide no accountability for what these crisis centers do. Right now, there are 10 states that do provide TANF dollars for these crisis pregnancy centers. But any entity that uses TANF dollars actually does have to undergo some accountability, some reporting, some oversight. But what this bill says is that there shall be no prohibition against TANF dollars being sent to a crisis pregnancy center. So a woman could die at a crisis pregnancy center, and there would be no ability to stop those funds from going to that center. That's what this bill does.
Well, and that speaks to the problem we had in Pennsylvania, where there was money being sent to these centers, and the overarching agency refused to participate in a statewide audit. So it is about the accountability piece, making sure that taxpayer dollars that are supposed to address the needs of low-income families, and particularly children, that money actually gets to them and isn't diverted to some propaganda purposes or to agencies which multiple studies have found are systemically misrepresenting what they're doing, providing misleading medical information, et cetera. So thank you for your work on this, and I would yield back.